I gotta tell you, we can build recession-proof businesses if we choose to. And the great thing about this market is that we've got great opportunity if we can only hear the sounds. Now, I know this sounds like bad news, but I kind of feel like it's Christmas right now, without a date. I don't know when we get to open the presents, but I know it's getting closer. And that's how I feel about GC2. I'm going to call that the Great Collapse 2. Now, I figure it this way. We called World War I the Great War. That was, of course, until we had World War II and realized that the Great War is a franchise. So then we had to call the Great War World War I because now we had World War II. Now, we called it the global financial collapse of 2008, but you see, we are in the midst of our second one, so we have to rename this whole sucker. Let's call this GC or Global Collapse 1 and GC Global Collapse 2. The Global Collapse 1, GC 1, and GC 2, Global Collapse 2. Right now, I figure we're in the equivalent of 1941, and I gotta tell you, here, my friends, is the latest battlefield.
The percentage of borrowers at least 60 days late on car payments is at the highest on record, even beating out GC1 numbers.
Now, of course, those who fall behind on their transportation costs are also struggling or falling behind on their housing costs. They kind of go hand in hand, don't you think? Oh, and let me say this. I find a joy in these numbers to the extent that we have to go through with everybody else, but we get to prosper. Now, I'm ready to go through these numbers so we can get back to a normal market. Not to mention, like I said, we'll get to write all of these loans and sell all these houses on people who have to default.
The report follows recent Federal Reserve Bank of New York data showing that the number of car loans that had sunk into serious delinquency, meaning 90 days late or more, had reached 3% in the fourth quarter, the highest level in 14 years. That same data showed an even starker situation for credit card delinquencies, with 11.35% of those loans more than 90 days late. That was a 2% increase from the previous quarter and a 17% increase year over year.
These, my friends, are what we would call canaries that are in the coal mine, letting us know what's in front of us. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. FHA and VA delinquencies. You'll note the numbers 1010 and 305. Now, those are our recent high in delinquencies on FHA and VA loans. Those came during COVID. So let's call this one an anomaly and throw that number out. Can we agree on that? Our record high numbers were 929 and 265 by the thousands. By the way, those were during the GC1 period. Respectively, the high with our FHA deals was 929. We are currently really close at 841.
With VA, we're at 208, and our number to hit for GC1 is 265. So to put it mildly, we're almost there. You might be asking, what happens when the current numbers in GC2 outpace GC1? Well, that's the moment you get to pull the string on the confetti bombs, drink the bubbly, and play Auld Lang Syne. Because at that point, we've officially hit the summit and we'll be on the downside of this crap market.
No, with regard to the crap market that we currently find ourselves situated in, you must understand this one singular point. The market is only bad if you allow it to be bad. Now, we do a crowdsourcing group on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time called Pods. It's a bunch of loan officers, realtors welcome, who share what works and some who continually share what doesn't work. Now, if you listen closely, you can kind of figure this whole thing out. But the point is this, as I can see, there's a number of loan officers who've built recession-proof businesses. Think of that term. Now, this market doesn't bother them at all. I've said this before, and I can name them. Denise Cordell, Rick McCready, Brett Smith, Kathleen Beck, Ryan Hershka. As far as I can tell, they pretty much got this whole thing dialed in. Now me, I've got some very strong opinions about what to do and what not to do. Though that's not to say I have the only way of making this thing work. But it's a great way to create a recession-proof business during GC2, where we currently find ourselves situated. Do me a favor. If your business is not going right, then go left and do it with us with our pods. All you have to do is be a part of something that's positive. Now, that might be too much for some of you, and that's okay. But if this whole thing tickles you, I guess we'll see you next Tuesday at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. All you have to do is fill it out right around here. I hope, my friends, this helps.